I'm going to be modifying the head strap of the Galaxy XR headset. A lot of people have been complaining about the rigidity of the headset, and I agree, especially with the backstrap. Wearing it laying down is kind of a pain. So the critical electronics stop at the thicker part of the head strap, and then this thinner, more malleable part is basically just plastic and doesn't really have any critical functions. So this portion right here, and I'm going to take it about an inch to half an inch behind the electronics part, and I'm going to cut it from there. At that point, I will attach the Razer soft head strap. This head strap was recommended in some of the forums, and I kind of did like a quick measurement on it just to make sure that it would fit. And what I'm going to do is something a little bit different than what other people have done with different variations is instead of trying to fix it to the control arms here or using the little bit that I'm going to leave extra on there, I'm actually going to use a Dremel and cut a straight line through this plastic piece right here, one line through here, one line up top, and then one line on the opposite side right here on that side. That will make it basically fit just like this on the headset. It's gonna block the proximity sensor, but I don't really care about that. That's not much of a problem. So I can always go in and lock the headset. So I'm gonna give it a go. So I got the Dremel, got some tape. I'm gonna protect the lenses with this. I'll tape it on there, and then I'll add some kind of buffer, piece of metal or something to protect the arms when I'm dremeling from the inside to create those slits. First things first, I'm gonna prep all the equipment by putting all the correct tools, and the most important thing is protecting the headset. I do not want anything happening to the lenses. I'm gonna tape over this because of the dust that's gonna get created from the cutting. So I don't want anything getting over the speakers or the microphones or anything like that. So just gonna cover those up. And then when I actually go do the cutting, I'll put like an old piece of metal or something in between so I don't accidentally cut the arms with the electronics in them. Take my Tech pad, thank you Tech, they're the best. Take that off, and then you'll see in here, so I'm basically going to take where, what's this, pointer, this little gap right here, where there's like a little soft section between that and the plastic, and I'm going to cut that right there, and then do the same thing right here on both sides. Just want to show you kind of what I'm doing here. See, you get the lens protector over the lenses, and I'm just basically taping around it, covering it. I don't want to let any tape or dust get in there and scratch the lenses, so I'm just going to tape pretty much as I can. I think that should do it. So I'm going to use this tool. Basically, I'm going to use this little dot, the Dremel bit remover. Only giving myself that extra slack just in case I want to put this back on for any reason, or if I want to attach So it's going to give me a little bit extra room to attach anything else that I decide if I want to try it different. Then I can add a bracket here with that extra inch or so, versus if I cut it all the way down, then I'm not going to have any room to play with in the event that I want to try something different. So I'll go ahead and mark that and then cut those sides. So I'll basically just take that, Sharpie dot, and then I'll just do essentially a straight line up and down. Actually, I'll probably round it off, but yeah. Fast forward a little bit, got all the tape on there. Dremel's set up. It is plugged in. Do a little quick functions check. Yep, got the cutting bit on there. Brought out the trauma shears just in case. In case we decide that's going to be something we want to use instead. Alright, so essentially what I'm going to do is just going to cut down the line here, and then I'll go from the inside out on this portion, right there, right here, and right there. Want to make it essentially the width of the head strap. I don't want to make it too big. I don't want to actually create very much slack. I want it to be able to stay taut and not wiggle around. So we'll take a look at this part, which is to cut the arm. So we'll start at 15. Should cut fairly easily. Okay, first side done. Hot plastic for the trauma shears would come into play. Deal with that afterward. And now this side. I turn it up actually to 20 just to get it a little bit quicker. So got that. Took those trauma shears and just clean off some of those bigger parts. Again, I don't really care about damaging too much on that side. Just want to kind of clean. I want to make sure that I have a clean cut. And then I'll use this sanding wheel to kind of round off those edges and clean it off a little bit. So do that real quick. Change this out. I'm really good. Key, this thing's killing me. This is slightly bent. As close as possible, turn back to 15. Now all I'm going to do is take these and just run at an angle right here. Same thing here. Take it at the top Around it. And the sharp edge hanging on. You're on either side. We are going to cut a hole here, as far down as we can go. We're going to cut a hole here. And then you're going to cut a hole here. And I know this question is going to get asked, why I'm choosing to do it there versus up here at the plastic arms. And the reason being is that when I went and sort of tested this out and fitted it on there, you can see some of the examples on Reddit where people use that. They actually had to pull the Razer headset or the Razer head strap all the way forward with like zip ties and stuff. And since you can't cut into the arm, they had to come up with a different way to mount it. I tested it a little bit yesterday, kind of temporary. I fixed it to the visor mount, just kind of held it on there, and it was like the perfect fit. And it also looks like it has the same pull angle, so I think it'll fit just right. So I'm going to give this a try. And if it doesn't work, worst case scenario, who cares? Then I can always put it on here. It's another one of the reasons why I left this kind of like that. I'll come up with another way to mount it. Could not find a flat little bracket or anything to put in between the arm and the piece of plastic. So what I did is I actually found an old metal credit card. One of the reasons why I want to make sure that I use metal is not just to protect the plastic and create a barrier, but if I start to cut into the metal, it's going to make a distinctly different sound. So that's going to give me kind of an early warning, like, hey, don't cut very much deeper, or any deeper rather. So wrapped it in tape and then created sort of a temporary way to mount it. I'm going to place it in between the arm and the cutting point, and then just take the tape and mount it on there. Nothing crazy, just something there. And then I'll take it and move it to the other side when it's time to cut it. With a Dremel and cut through, it's not going to go through with the plastic arm with the actual components in it. So back to the cutting bit. So we got an initial cut through. I got a bit of a skip on there because I'm not using a proper mount. I'm doing this inside because it's freezing outside. And so we're gonna have to go just a hair wider. So we're gonna do that. I think that's right on the money. Okay. So just do a quick fit check on this. Bam. And that is perfect. Because now we know about how wide we need to go on the side ones without risking too much. Okay. That should be about right. As you can see, the credit card did its job. Okay. Yeah, nice and tight. Okay, that one's good. I'm just gonna leave that there. And then I'm gonna pull this guy off. Here. Go like this. And voila. Razer head strap. On there. Okay. So you can see, got him inside the visor mount. Visor cushion. And now we can put our Tech back on. Maybe Tech can come out with an accessory kit where it's a 3D printed visor with the holes already cut in. There you can see, and that should function identical to the arms that are already on there. So it actually looks better than anticipated. So I'm gonna take all the tape off and stuff. No need to watch me do that. And then I'll show you the finished product when worn. Got it all set up now. It fitted to my head and it works pretty good. It's a little loose, a little wobbly, but to be honest, it's not that bad. But the big thing is it's a lot lighter and a lot more comfortable. So it fits perfectly. It's held in the right position. The field of view is amazing. And I don't have to make any adjustments. So it's perfect. So you can see the back, side, and top. And it's not bad at all. And then when I take it off, if I need to, I can just throw it over the arm, and that way the proximity sensor doesn't get blocked. So if that's something I need to do, but otherwise it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Not bad for, 30 minutes of work and $80 for the head strap.